In 2023, a single company added more market value in 12 months than the entire GDP of Australia. It did not make phones. It did not make software. It made chips. And almost no one saw it coming. That company was NVIDIA, and its story does not begin in triumph. It begins in a Denny's diner in East San Jose, California. 1993, 3 engineers, 1 napkin, one enormous gamble. Jensen Huang, Curtis Preem, and Chris Malachowski had a theory. Personal computers were about to need dedicated graphics processing. The market did not exist yet. They decided to build it anyway. NVIDIA was founded with roughly $2 million in venture capital. For context, that is less than what some YouTubers make in a year today. They had 18 months to prove the concept or run out of money. Their first product, the NV1, launched in 1995. It failed. The architecture was incompatible with the direction Microsoft's Direct 3D standard was taking the industry. Retailers returned the units. Revenue collapsed. By 1996, NVIDIA had roughly 100 employees and was burning through cash. Jensen Huang later said the company was approximately 30 days from closing permanently. 30 days. Most founders would have pivoted cautiously. Huang did something different. He made a decision that violated every principle of safe corporate management. He scrapped everything. He bet the entire company on a single new architecture that did not yet exist. The result was the RIVA 128, released in 1997. It rendered graphics at speeds the market had never seen at that price point. Within 4 months, NVIDIA had sold an estimated 1 million units. The company did not just survive, it accelerated. In 1999, NVIDIA went public on the NASDAQ. On the same year, they introduced a product and a word that would eventually reshape civilization. They called it the GPU, the graphics processing unit. The GPU was architecturally different from a standard CPU. Where a CPU had a few powerful cores designed for sequential tasks, a GPU had thousands of smaller cores designed to handle thousands of tasks simultaneously. It was built for images. But that parallel structure had a hidden superpower no one had fully mapped yet. Through the early 2000s, NVIDIA dominated the gaming graphics market. Their GeForce line became the standard for PC gaming worldwide. Revenue grew steadily. The company looked like a very successful, very niche hardware business. That is all anyone thought it was. But inside universities and research labs, something was beginning to stir. Scientists working on complex simulations, weather modeling, protein folding, fluid dynamics, were discovering that NVIDIA's GPUs could run their calculations dramatically faster than traditional processors. They were hacking a gaming chip to do science. NVIDIA noticed. And here is where the story pivots. In 2006, Jensen Huang made a decision that would cost hundreds of millions of dollars and produce zero immediate revenue. He authorized the development of CUDA. CUDA, Compute Unified Device Architecture, was a programming platform that allowed developers to use NVIDIA GPUs for general-purpose computing, not just graphics, anything. It was a direct invitation to scientists, researchers, and engineers. Use our hardware for your hardest problems. The investment was enormous. The return was invisible for years. Wall Street did not applaud. Analysts questioned the strategy. Hardware companies were not supposed to build software ecosystems. That was not the business model, but Huang understood something most executives did not. The real moat in technology is not the product. It is the ecosystem around the product. Every researcher who learned CUDA became dependent on NVIDIA hardware. Switching cost became switching pain. Then came 2012, and everything changed, not just for NVIDIA, for the world. A team at the University of Toronto, led by researcher Alex Krzyzewski, entered an annual artificial intelligence competition called ImageNet. Their model, AlexNet, did not just win. It obliterated the competition, cutting the error rate nearly in half compared to previous methods. The field of deep learning had just announced itself. AlexNet ran on 2 NVIDIA GPUs. The researchers had used CUDA to train the neural network. What had taken weeks on traditional hardware had taken days on NVIDIA silicon. The AI research community immediately understood the implication. They all needed GPUs. Specifically, they needed NVIDIA GPUs. Demand from research labs began climbing. Then tech companies noticed. Google, Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, every major technology company began building AI research divisions. Every one of those divisions required massive GPU clusters. NVIDIA was the only company with both the hardware and the software ecosystem to deliver. NVIDIA's data center revenue, which had been negligible, began to grow. Then it began to compound. By 2020, data center revenue surpassed gaming revenue for the first time. A company built to power video games was now powering the intelligence of the internet. Then came November 2022. OpenAI released ChatGPT to the public. Within 5 days, it had 1 million users. Within 2 months, 100 million. The largest consumer technology adoption in recorded history. Every major corporation on Earth suddenly needed AI, and every AI system needed NVIDIA chips to train and run. The orders flooded in. NVIDIA's flagship AI chip, the H100, had a reported waiting list of months. Cloud providers were paying a reported $25,000 to $40,000 per unit. Some reports estimated the H100 had gross margins approaching 90%. NVIDIA was not just selling chips, it was rationing them. In fiscal year 2024, NVIDIA reported revenue of approximately $60 billion, a year-over-year increase of over 120%. Net income exceeded $29 billion. The company's market capitalization crossed $1 trillion, then $2 trillion, then briefly surpassed $3 trillion, making it one of the most valuable companies ever to exist. To put that in context, NVIDIA added more value in 18 months than the entire market cap of most Fortune 500 companies took decades to build. It became more valuable than every European stock exchange company combined, at its peak. This did not happen because of luck. It happened because of a decision made in 2006 when there was no financial incentive to make it. It happened because Jensen Huang invested in an ecosystem when the market was rewarding only products. He built the road before anyone had the cars. The lesson is precise. Monopolies are not built by being the best at what the market currently wants. They are built by becoming essential to what the market will need next. NVIDIA did not follow the AI revolution. It quietly became the infrastructure the AI revolution runs on. That is a different category of strategy entirely. From a Denny's napkin to $3 trillion. From 30 days away from collapse to the engine of artificial intelligence. That is the hidden empire of NVIDIA. And if you want to understand who holds that kind of power in the age of quantum computing, subscribe, because that story is next.